What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode number 30 here of the F1 2021 Driver Career Series for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the 18th round of the championship. Just 3 more to go before we cap this series off. We had a decent race last time out in Mexico. We had great fun there. So if you haven't checked that video out, go and check it out now. There'll be a card up in the top right hand corner of your screen. In terms of warm parts here, we're going to make a change here. We're going to add a 4th component here. We're going to add a 4th to the internal combustion engine. We will get a penalty for that, so let's deal with that later on in the episode. So stick around and see how we deal with that. Let's get into it. So here we are then in the workstation, getting ready for the start of first practice here in Interlagos. I've always enjoyed the Brazilian circuit as it tracks. Hopefully I'll deal us a little bit more luck over the course of this race weekend. Of course, we've got our emails to look into as always, so we'll look for those now. We got email about driver moves despite there not being any, so that's confusing. It's a weird glitch in the game. Hopefully they fixed that for the new one. Got a weekend preview as always, and then we've got our developments to complete at the end of the last episode, so hopefully those will close up that gap to Mercedes and Red Bull. And we've got our weather forecast as always, and it's going to be all dry this weekend by the looks of things, so always good to see. We do love ourselves a dry race. We haven't had a proper one in a while, so we're going to jump right into. I say that we had a dry race in Mexico, we were meant to have rain. Regardless of going into first practice, we're going to go into our same strategy as always, going at one on each practice program. We'll sort that out and move on to practice 2, so there'll be a 100% chance of success on each one, so that we always get a decent foundation to start things off. I don't know why I didn't start doing this earlier on, but we've had a bit of an issue here because we've run out of time, so we only had time to do the 6-minute 51 over on track acclimatization. Only got time for this half chance success one on time management, and we don't get it, so that's a terrible start there. We only got 2 things of the practice programs out of the 3 we normally get, so we have to move on to practice 2 now and try and salvage what we can in this situation. We'll push through. We're going to try and get something here on track acclimatization, just get the one out of the way. 100% success as always. This one actually takes less time. Why couldn't we have had this one in the last session? I think even if we had, to be honest, we still would have run out, wouldn't have had enough time. Now we've got one on each. We'll go back to race strategy and try and work those out. 7% chance of success in this one. It takes out a decent amount of the session, and we'll get a 3rd one in, hopefully, at the end. Yes, we can, just about. So yeah, we've got 3 now on race strategy, which is always good. So now we need to work on we need to work on time management and track acclimatization. So we'll get those 2 done now in 3rd practice. So we'll have a look here at time management first, see what we can get out of that. It's crucial we get them all completed here, just to start things off and go back to track acclimatization, keep things equal if we can. And there we go, it's a decent chunk of the session gone. We've got just over 11 and a half minutes left. We'll use 7 minutes of that on this last time management one, and we got it. But I don't think we've run out of time here. We don't have enough time to get 3rd on track acclimatization, and I do believe we've only got this 4-minute one, which we can only just do. And I doubt we'll get it, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. Right then, so the end of it all then, not the best of sessions, race strategy 3, time management 3, and track acclimatization 2. Regardless though, 900 Roos points, 500 from ourselves and 400 from Daniel, so that's a decent amount of points to go into the race, 1.6k to deal with once this one's over. And of course we've got our development boost as always, which have been really building up in recent races. We've got that durability upgrade, so that is almost quarter off, so that's always lovely to see. I think it costs about 800 Roos points, so perhaps we might look into that later in the episode. And we do get further into driver acclaim level 11. I dare say we might actually hit level 12 by the time this series comes to an end. Right, so back in the workstation now, here ready for the start of the race. I'm expecting to take some kind of grid penalty after qualifying, so let's see how we get dealt with that. Hopefully we get dealt a good hand. I mean, qualifying was okay, like I say. We've got our emails coming in as always, or just the one email before the race. I'm very excited for this one. Hopefully we'll have as good a race we did in Mexico. So let's jump right in now to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the rundown into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Cohen lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly, Norris and Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Raikkonen, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Well, I don't understand quite what's happened, but for some reason we're still in P1. That's why we qualified on pole position. Our first ever pole in the Driver Career Series since making it to F1. We got a few in F2, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long ago that I can't actually remember at this point. It was August when we finished F2, and now it's late June. That's quite mad. Anyway, race strategy. We're going to go for this. We're going to pit on lap number 8 for medium tyres. Those take another 10 laps. But it turns out that I messed up and accidentally chose the wrong strategy, but no matter, we'll deal with that as we come to it later on the Grand Prix. Right, here we go now, 5 red lights for our first pole position here in Brazil. It's lights out and we are underway. It's a decent getaway, a very good getaway compared to the two Mercedes cars. It's the second race in a row. We've had a great start leading towards turn 1. Bottas goes inside, and no, he spun us out! Bottas drives into us there at turn 1, and we collect Lewis Hamilton as well, and that could not have gone worse. I would have happily taken like the 5 or 10 place grid penalty. We've ended up with the 19 place one essentially, and now we're down in last place. We've got a lot of work to do here. Lewis Hamilton, of course, no stranger to comebacks in Brazil, but us, no, this is outrageous. This is not how we wanted to start the race. Bottas gets away, no repercussions. I believe we actually got a warning for colliding with him, which I don't really feel is fair. Regardless, we've now got to stick with Lewis here on the start, but no, that is not how this first lap was meant to go. And all of a sudden, even a chance for points finish could have been thrown out the window. Regardless, though, pushing on towards the end of lap number 2 now. We've already caught up to the back of the pack, me and Lewis. And now we try and take on Mazepin. It's time to start the double British comeback through the field. Hamilton's going to go on the outside. We're going to look to the inside into turn 1 of Canada. Dive to the inside of both of them. I believe Lewis locked up there as we begin lap number 3. DRS now enabled. We're now up into P18. Brilliant start there. We're right behind Mick Schumacher and the other half to be able to get DRS off him as well. Try and get the job done on him to make our way down towards the turn at number 4 now. Matt go very late on the brakes, set purple sector 1 starting off to show us how fast this car is. We've already set the fastest lap of the race as well, so that's the next point coming at the end of the day before I get on to that. So past Schumacher now up into P17, our next target on the same lap of Nicholas Latifi in the Williams, so duck to his inside, going into the last proper corner on the circuit and going back up the hill, and that's us up into 16th place. Our next target being his teammate George Russell in the other Williams, so I have the DRS open. So, but for the time being, we didn't get him, so we're on to midway through lap number 4 now. We could dive to the inside of Russell, not working, they were too far back. Let's go for a risk, we'll go around the outside if we can. I'm not sure if this is actually pay off, it looks like it might, to be honest. We'll go around the outside of Russell, that'd be the inside for the right-hander. And I didn't believe we'd actually be able to make it past him there, but we've managed to make our way up into P15. So brilliant move there, if I do say so myself. Next car in front of us is the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi, and it's the start of a long line which will take us up into the points paying places, if I'm not mistaken. There's still a long way to go here. We're making up these places earlier, we've already made up 5 of them, so it's all good there. Lewis is struggling a little bit more, he's only managed to pass the 2 Haas cars, we get to get past the Williams, so we kind of got away from him in these opening laps. We're closing on Giovinazzi now, using the battery to our advantage as well. We set a purple sector 3 there, wasn't enough to reclaim fastest up again, or improve on our fast lap. We're up the inside of Giovinazzi though, and that's us up into P14 now. Next target being Lance Stroll as we charge off of turn 3 out the centre S's and down towards turn number 4. Stroll has the DRS on Raikkonen in front of him. We've got the DRS and our battery being used to duck up the inside, and that's P13 secure. Further into that now, we're chasing Kimi Raikkonen in that Alfa Romeo. Only 3 places off the points now. This is Raikkonen, Alonso and Tsunoda to deal with. So we're going to try and get past Raikkonen here as quickly as we can. We're going to dive to the inside, and that'll be another place done just like that. This McLaren is seriously quick. Taking that ICE that started the episode was really worth it, because it's definitely helping us here. And the power unit feels almost as good as new, to be honest. We've set purple sector 1 and the green sector 2 here. We make the charge now to try and pass Alonso up the hill. We're just fixing the strategy here at this point. We can't change what lap we're coming in. It looks like we'll be on lap 10, unfortunately, as opposed to lap 8. So I have to take these soft tyres a little bit further. We'll try and take them as long as we can without ruining the wear too much. Over the line now, setting fastens up once again by almost half a second. Down to the inside of Alonso into turn 1, and now we're just 1 place off the points. And look who's in front of us, our old rival from Formula 2, Yuki Tsunoda, the rival we went for the title with over the course of that season. A dive to his inside, and even now in F1 we're still getting the better of him. despite that, I mean, obviously we have a much better car. Regardless, we've passed Sonoda and now up into the points paying places onto in lap number 6 now, and we're chasing Lando Norris in the Alpine, who's defending the inside. Let's go to his outside, but he's left the door open now. He's moved over to the right for turn 1. We're going to switch back and go to the inside, and that is P9. We're past our fellow Brit, and the next rival is 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. We've got a yellow flag in front of us, and that's one of the AlphaTauris. That's Pierre Gasly, who's fallen away from the lead pack and looks like he's out of the race. There's smoke pouring out the back of the AlphaTauri. Vettel to move to the left of Gasly. We move further left, and now we're up into P7, so we are essentially best of the rest. That yellow flag is there, but Gasly, unfortunately for him, out of the race. I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't a Ferrari doing things. But regardless, though, we weren't able to catch the rest of the leaders, and we're coming down at the end of lap number 10 for our first and only stop of the Grand Prix. I'll be hoping that things go alright for us here, because we do need to keep on chasing that lead pack there. Bottas continues to show the way, unfortunately. Into the pit lane we go now, change onto a fresh set of medium size, but no, there's a couple of cars who are waiting, making their way through, and we can't get a safe release. We had to wait for 3 different cars to go past us there. Unfortunately, we have lost a decent amount of time. Potentially, I don't even know if Norris might even come out in front of us.
Okay,
I'm not 100%
sure. And
that's how much time we've lost in the pit lane there. So we've already got it all to do in terms of catching back up to that lead pack, but now we've got even more to do. We've got a mountain to climb in these late stages of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Come out just in front of Norris there. They've cut across him to avoid him going for a move into turn number 4. Avoid him going around our outside. We got a bit wide there through the corner. We've managed to stay in front of him though, so all is okay. We'll try and pull away from him as quickly as we can here. Moving on to lap number 15. Now, a couple of laps later, we've caught Carlos Sainz, who was strangely put on the hard tyres. So typical Ferrari strategy as always. And we're now right with him here. We're going to try and go for a move as early as we can. There is Sainz getting the radio update from Jeff, who's just there in front of us, trying to see how much I was gaining by while I was chasing him. Let's see if we can get down the inside here. Yes, we can. And look at that, Verstappen only 2.5 seconds in front of us. Sainz going to try and go back around here outside, similar to how we did with Russell. There's a bit of contact apparently. I don't recall making contact with Sainz. Regardless, I'll take a warning at this point. We are still just focused on chasing these 3 in front of us, and to be honest, if we can catch these guys, a podium is definitely still on the cards. Pushing on now to the end of lap number 17 and the start of the final lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix. It's been quite a race. We got spun out the first corner. Bottas, short of Perez catching him, is on course for victory, and we're now just trying to chase Verstappen, Ricciardo and Leclerc in third place, and make that Ricciardo down in third and Leclerc in fourth. Those two are going at it down towards turn 1. We're onto the grass slightly there, so we run a bit deep through turn 1, and we've managed to hold the line though through 2, and now going through, making our way out of 3 onto the DRS straight. We're right behind Verstappen, just about a quarter of a second behind him. So it's going to be a difficult task for us to try and get past all 3 here. We're ducked to the inside of Verstappen, taking no prisoners. We're onto the grass there. He goes a little bit wide off the track, and of course he's no stranger to dangerous driving around Brazil, if you ask me. Making our way now, turning around the outside of him here, through the right hand, and not going to work. We're going to try and switch back and try and get a dive to the inside. Here we go, looking underneath, and for the third time this race, we managed to get past another drive up the inside there. I'm pretty sure it's probably more than 3. Regardless, they're up into P5. I mean, that's just 2 more places away from that podium. Going to go to the inside of Leclerc now, try and make the pass on him. He's also on hard tyres, and what a Ferrari thinking in this Brazilian Grand Prix. They put both their drivers on hard tyres when everyone else on mediums, and we've managed to pass him because of that. And we're going to try and get Ricciardo here. We've gone deeper into the last corner, so up the hill. He's going to get the better exit, and after all of this, all of the driving we've done to fight back, Bottas is going to win the race, which I feel is undeserved in my opinion, considering what he did for us at the start. We're going to come towards the line in P4 in a race where I feel like we really could have gotten the podium, potentially even the victory, but it is what it is.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Bottas wins the race then, with Perez in second, increasing that championship lead over Verstappen, and Ricciardo, our teammate, in third place. All in all, I'm disappointed with how this one went, because I really felt like we could have potentially won the race today, but it is what it is in Formula 1 sometimes. You've got to deal with it like that.
A result that will make Sergio Perez happy as he pushes his championship lead out even further. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they've built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Alright, so in terms of the rest of the top 10 in the after the podium finishes, we came in 4th place there. Leclerc finished 5th, Verstappen in 6th, Sainz 7th, Vettel 8th, Lando Norris 9th, and Fernando Alonso beat Yuki Tsunoda to the final points paying place. Overall, like I say, I'm quite disappointed with this one. We have close to more points on Sainz and Ricciardo in the championship. We're 14 points behind Ricciardo and just 4 behind Sainz. You could catch him here. Perez has a 30-point lead, could potentially claim the championship next time out in Australia. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, we extend that lead over Ferrari in trying to take 3rd place. I feel like we're in a really good position now to finish in the top 3 for the 2nd year in a row from McLaren.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Did you feel that things went well for you today?
What could have gone better? It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season.
Appreciate your time.
In terms of that rivalry then, same as always, we are on course to beat Lando Norris in the rivalry. To be fair, it never really was much contest. I was trying to get the free acclaim for being Italian. I was considering we won't be doing a 2nd season of this series. We've got further into driver claim level 11, which I feel like we could claim level 12 next time out in Australia, so make sure to stay around for that. All in all, like I said, I keep on saying, disappointing because I feel like we really could have won the race today. But you know what? That's just bad luck for us in Formula 1. In terms of upgrades here, and get going on an aero upgrade where not sure whether to go standard or rush it. We'll go standard just to keep things nice and safe. And in terms of other upgrades, I reckon we've got enough for potentially one more if we can find it. Not 100% sure. We'll have a look in powertrain here. Is there anything we can go for? Not. Let's have a look further through. Nothing there. 2k. And there we go. Got an upgrade we can do for 1,000 resource points to a standard. That one again. No rushing today. And in terms of our performance comparison, we're now the 2nd best car on the grid. So we've really closed that gap on Red Bull, who are dropping back here. Mercedes is still another top car. Going to advance time, get one of those upgrades through as a powertrain upgrade. So all good there. We get our weekly resources as always on the same day as we leave the Australian Grand Prix.
Our new parts have completed without issue.
So
they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
And we are. I'm not sure if that will change anything, but yes, it does. We are on top of the R&D order in front of Mercedes now. So we can go to these final 2 rounds if we can hold on to that lead with the best car on the grid. And that's something very exciting. You're going to want to be able to stick around for that. But guys, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as always. We're trying to close in on 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year if we can. So make sure to help me out with that. Check out the playlist if you're new around here. And like I say, do get subscribed for regular F1 content when F1 22 comes out. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.